your value? Do you put it in your digital worlds, in your online persona? How much do you value physical things? What you actually see around you as opposed to the lifestyle or the person you could be online. The central narrative that goes through all of my art is the hierarchy of the digital versus the physical. Where do we place our value? Which one do we think is important? And also, which one do we devote most of our time to? If you're willing to dedicate time to something, it's important to you. So I look at tech as a sort of religious artifact because of the amount of time people put into them. So if you look at your phone, you could look at it as a religious artifact. You wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you see. You check it regularly every day. It's the last thing you see before you go to bed. In previous times, the only thing people would do that to that sort of degree would be some kind of religious fetish that they would be focusing on and repeating rituals about. So I use that as a springboard to look at what technology means to us and what it'll mean to us in the future. Because that sort of devotion to a device, it makes you question what needs and wants are being created by the device as opposed to you. When your phone rings, you check it immediately. It's demanding your attention. It's looking at you and making sure that you pay attention to it. So I'm interested in the relationship between people and technology. I want to look at how one is shaping the other and how much influence one has on the other. What creates our needs and wants now? Are they created online through digital media marketing campaigns where you decide this is what you need now? Or are you deciding for yourself that's actually what you need? This work is positioned in the future. It's sort of looking at a post-us phase, post-information age, once people have lost access to the technology that sort of ruled this era. It's the people who remain afterwards, who live in the world that we've left through our ambition to aspire to a technological age. The artifacts that will be left behind are all going to be e-waste centered, because that'll be the most prolific thing that's been created. So these are based on plastigomerate rocks, which are sort of plastic infused rocks that they've been finding in Hawaii. So forever now, going back, there will be a plastic age where archaeologists will be able to pinpoint this is when we created plastic, because it's not going anywhere. It's merged with the environment. An interesting concept, because we talk about the digital world made physical. It's our manufacturing process interfering with natural life, creating an entirely new substance and a new creation, which is these plastic rocks, basically. Then I use that to look forward to the future to see what else we would make in the future through the waste that we have created. Sort of tech artifacts that you would find, and they would have similar importance as to old artifacts we find today. Collecting them would show your wealth, and they become areas of focus. So she's wearing a crown of these old e-waste pieces. I think I sculpted in VR for maybe 4 months, I think, which is a lot of time to spend in headset. I got very used to a giant computer strapped to my forehead. But the cool thing was I could travel and sculpt wherever I wanted the same piece because I didn't have anything to carry. That was a huge bonus. So most of my thinking and experimentation happens in virtual reality or in a digital medium, because it allows me to iterate through a lot of ideas. Before I worked with a pen tablet and I was sculpting, but with a pen tablet. I have now transitioned to working with a VR headset in a program called ShapeLab, which allows me to sculpt virtually the same way I would sculpt physically, which has been completely changing to my practice. It's been amazing. I can still involve my body in the practice, so I still have the muscle memory of sculpting, and you can see it in your space. You're not interfacing through a two-dimensional computer to see your 3D sculpture. After sculpting, then it came time to separate the piece up and cut it and slice it for 3D printing. That's where Amnova got involved. It's like a 3D printing cafe makerspace. It's really, really fun. You can just go there, print whatever you want, have some coffee. Basically, I printed this whole sculpture in blocks and then stuck all the blocks together. Then came an an even more fun part, which is where I covered the surface in clay to give it the final texture and to change a couple of things that I wanted to change that you can only know once you see it in real life. VR goes a very far way, but there's nothing compared to like the physical form once it's there. And I spent, I think, a month sculpting the clay, and it was quite a process. Then it was time to make a mold. So I worked with Gene Doyle's foundry in Deep River. Greg came in, we made the mold together. Early in the morning, put on layers of silicon. We used so much silicon in this thing, it's insane. Cover it in a fiberglass jacket, and then you divide it all up. So you cut the silicon, you pull the jacket apart, and then you have basically a negative copy of your sculpture. So they pour wax into the mold, and the resin jacket keeps all of the pieces in place. So it's very important, and your wax workers are incredibly important to the process because they're as much artists as I am. They have to join all of the seams, recreate detail that gets lost in the casting process. There are so many different hands involved in creating a bronze. You need a great team, and yeah, Gene Doyle's foundry has definitely been that. So once they make the wax, I go and check it, make any changes that need to be changed, and then it comes time to dip it in ceramic powder, and they basically coat the thing in quite a thick like shell of ceramic, and that can take the heat of the bronze. So they melt out the wax, and that leaves like a negative space where your bronze can go in. They heat up a huge crucible of bronze, and they literally just pour the bronze into the negative of the ceramic shell, and that's your bronze sculpture in there. Then starts an entirely new process. So you knock off that shell, and then the fettler, who another artist in their own right, takes those pieces of bronze in their raw state and welds them all together, because often sculptures this big and with intricate detail, you do pieces in separate parts and then you weld them all together. Then I go and check the raw bronze, and then it's patina time. So that's where you cover the sculpture in different chemicals to sort of change the surface color and the surface feel. So we've got 3 different colors in this piece. You spray chemicals on the surface, you heat the bronze up, and then the chemicals bond with the surface of the bronze and create your different looks and your different colors. So So now that this piece is finished, there's another big sculpture. I've taken the method that I used to create this sculpture and used it again to create another one because I think it works quite well. And I'm keen to see where it goes. But yeah, so that's my next thing, is another big sculpture. It's not quite as big as this one, but it's also very cool.